We back.
What's up,
We
bro? It's been a
back,
minute.
baby. It's been a hot
Been a minute.
second.
Life
Woo.
comes at you fast sometimes, and it gets hectic.
We needed
But
a 2 week break. We
yeah,
definitely
yeah,
needed that break for sure.
yeah.
Got to see your
Um,
beautiful face.
I know, I know. I was
Oh,
very excited that
baby.
you were made it happen. It was a lovely weekend. I'm glad I got
Lovely.
up the time to visit and everything.
More to
But before
come.
we get in the sports world, because not only did we visit each other, we saw some sports. But before we get all that, after talking with each other, Monday nights are just too hectic for us. And with football happening, we decided that we're going to switch the pod to Tuesday night and post it Wednesdays. Mondays just it's not working out for us. It's just too much going on. Plus Monday night football now is everything makes more sense to post Wednesday and record Tuesday night.
Yeah.
But that being said, we're still going to be, talking about all sports, not just football. We will be talking mainly about football in this pod and probably the next couple, though, with it being the beginning of the season. But, there's too many sports not to talk about everything. We had
Once
to talk about
baseball
it all. So
starts, once
playoff
basketball
baseball,
gets
not just
playoff
baseball. Playoff
baseball,
baseball.
basketball
Yeah, yeah.
starts.
I know your team's out, so you kind of forgot about it already. But anyhow,
I'm
I'm
just gonna
sorry.
sit
I
here.
should not.
I'm just gonna
I
sit
should not have
here.
fired that shot. I really should not have because we
Don't
had a
worry,
great
don't
weekend. I'm
worry.
sorry.
No. I can't wait to talk about a specific game. Oh, I can't wait.
Oh yeah, same. It's gonna be great. But first, yeah.
Sorry. You're used to that?
Yeah. Honestly, it's at this point, it's not even that. It's standard procedure. If we were to win a game like that, that would be choking it because we wouldn't actually, it'd be different. But no. First, let's start with a little question.
All right, give it to me.
Okay, two people. One can see the future, and one can read minds. If both of those people were to play each other in chess, who would win the game?
Dude, this is a good question. This is a solid question.
There's like a couple different ways I could see this happening too. So it's a debate. But I want to hear your side before I voice mine.
So this is my head, right? Like the person that could read minds could read the future just by reading the opponent's mind.
My question. Can he read that? Like, just because he sees the future, does that is that in his mind? Like, or is it after? Like, is there a certain amount of mind the guy can read? So if he sees 30 minutes into the future and knows every move, does the guy know every move, or is it just does he know his next move? So that's the debate.
But even then, if the guy knows the future, doesn't he know that the person is reading his mind?
He would know all the counters. I feel like it would just be a stalemate no matter what. I feel like neither person would actually win this game.
But this is what I'm thinking, right? I think if a person could read the future, they have to be somewhat more intelligent than just a person that could read the mind, because they're preventing things. Like they're always seeing into the future and then like adjusting, versus the person that's reading the mind, they read the mind and respond to like what's going on. So I think the guy in the future would be able to set the guy that's reading his mind up because he already sees all the moves.
If a person were to win a not stalemate, I would as well pick the person being able to see the future and stuff. I think it's 100%. Just too OP. Yeah.
Which one would you rather be? The person that could read the mind or see into the future? Just
in this chess match or in life? Okay, that's that's tough. It'd be fun to read minds, but also to know the future ahead of time. I feel like that I could use that to my advantage. A little, way too much. Like I would definitely have a nice little pot of money from gambling on every major sport and just cashing out points and picks.
Oh, I didn't even think of that.
But you'd have to lose some every now and then also, so it doesn't look rigged.
But I would want to read people's minds.
I feel like that'd be fun too.
Like, what are you thinking?
What happens if you read someone's mind and it's like the worst thing ever? Like, and you can't tell anyone because like it hasn't happened. So you can't be like, by the way, this person's gonna go do this. You can't say that because then it's like, how do you know? You're an accomplice. You're going to jail too. Like, there's a fine line of it. He's debating things now.
Damn. Damn. But if you could read someone's mind, if you don't look at that extreme and you use it in the people in your life,
That also could be messed up. You read your mom's mind, she finds out she hates you. How depressed would you be?
I wouldn't be that depressed. I already know that.
Fair,
No, but I feel
fair
like you
enough.
could just like, can you just like imagine like, I don't know,
I mean,
how to play the person's
yeah,
emotion and like their experience
both
against
are
them.
great. Both are great. But also both are dangerous.
Rooting into the future would just be fun. I would have
Yeah.
to admit. But the gambling thing,
Let's-
I mean, you could.
Yeah.
Like you have to at that point.
You really
But
would. I mean, cash money. But let's talk about the past a bit. Let's talk about the past because we have a whole week of football already happened. And my goodness, some great games. Not a ton of blowouts. Some games I wish had been a blowout. It was at one point. Didn't end in that, but let's start Thursday night. Let's start Thursday
Give it to me.
night.
Give it to me.
Bills versus Rams. Two teams that are pretty heavily likely, whatever word you want to use to make playoffs and possibly make a deep run. Bills crushed them. I mean,
Destroyed.
absolutely crushed them. What are your thoughts on this game? Because I feel like we probably have some similar thoughts, but also maybe not so much for most of these games, not just Thursday night, but probably across the whole slate.
Yeah. Specifically about this. The Bills are damn good. Just plain and simple. The Bills are legit. They added weapons on defense with Von Miller. That offense is just going to continue to get better. I forget who they picked up at wideout.
I can't remember either off the top of my head.
But like a solid number two. A solid number two with Gabriel Davis, with Stephon Diggs. The running game is decent. Josh Allen's not afraid. I mean, this team, like when you look at the AFC, and I'm sure we could, as you go through the slate of games, we're like, this team could win it all. And like, there's like 8 of them at least that you could just say that about. But the Bills proved it against the Super Bowl champions. And I think the Super Bowl champions, Rams, disappointed, stagnant. The offense was not there. The defense was
outside
weaker.
of Cooper Kupp. I feel like everyone else was bad. Cooper Kupp was the only one that wasn't, in my opinion.
But where I disagree with you is I think they need to stop forcing him the ball, which is why the other guys weren't good.
They need to, yes. But the other guys, I mean, if you just look from a fancy aspect, the other, the running backs got him. If you had a LA Rams running back, I'm sorry, you hate yourself right now.
Oh, 100%.
Like,
but they're not using their weapons. That's the issue.
That's the thing. Like Cooper Kupp's their guy, and everyone knows that. But he's still the guy. But you have to find someone else to be the guy as well. Otherwise, you're not going to be able to do anything.
And I think that's the problem. Is like they need to feed him early. I mean, we all saw what they were saying about Allen Robinson. He said after the game about Matthew Stafford and Cooper Kupp. They're going to have that buddy relationship, sure. But Allen Robinson's no scrub. When he was in Chicago, he was the number one. Clearly, you go to a team with Cooper Kupp, you're the number 2. But Odell was there, and he was able to make it work. So everyone was saying like Matthew Stafford's a racist or whatever, like messing with like him and Cooper Kupp. They don't shut up. He played in Detroit. Like at the end of the day, like calm down.
Yeah.
But what I do think is like they don't click, and I think that's the bigger issue. I think
the Rams will figure it out. Yeah, the Rams will figure it out, but I mean, the Bills are at a different level compared to them at least from the start of the season.
And even their offensive line on the Rams, with Whitworth going out due to retirement, like that's a huge chunk. He was your veteran leadership on the line. You get a new guy in that defense. You lose Von Miller, Aaron Donald's still there. Jalen Ramsey looked like a shell of himself, getting beat left and right.
Was bad.
You can't do that if you're Jalen Ramsey.
He looked like a rookie lost.
100%. But I do think the Rams will figure it out. But that was just a bad first game. Yeah. Which I feel like is normal for Super Bowl champions. Like they just got off this high.
Yeah, the Super Bowl hangover,
and then the Bills come into town, and it's like the Bills.
They
It's
did.
not
They
like
couldn't get a worse opponent week 1. Like they could not have got any worse of opponent week 1 when it came to a good team. Like,
but they need to get humbled, and I think it makes it interesting because a lot of these NFC teams got humbled. One
NFC is just
specific.
not as good. That's okay. If you're talking about my team, that's not being humbled. That's just us for the past 3 years.
Oh no. Like actually.
Okay, just okay, just making sure I was. That's not humbling. This happens every time. Every time. But
we see pretty much eye to eye on that game.
Yeah, I think so. I mean, the Bills could also OBJ could end up signing with the Bills, also just make him even more scary.
Could you imagine? Can you freaking? And he was a bucket. I mean, that just like wherever OBJ goes, I think tilts the scales just a little bit because he proved himself last year. If it wasn't for the ACL injury, he was balling in that Super Bowl. Who knows what would have happened? Maybe he would have been the guy in the fourth. But I'm excited for this next game because we were actually freaking there. We were able to see the whole game, analyze it. Shout out Brandon, Jack, other Brandon, not you, Brandon. You, Brandon, for being there, and Mark for great time with the boys. But what a game! Didn't know how it was going to shake out. Commanders versus Jacksonville, but like we got our money's worth, and great seats. We were up top, but like you're able to see everything.
The field of view is great there. I like this. This inside the stadium, outside not so nice, but the inside very nice. I was very impressed with the inside of the stadium. I will give you that.
What did you think? First time in DC, even though the stadium is in Maryland. But
when you told me that, I was like,
Virginia. It doesn't make sense.
Blown, but I was worried for a bit because first half, the Commanders controlled the game very well, but as the first half ended, we had a little side bet going on, you and me, for whoever wanted to buy food, and you took no points before then a half with like a minute and a half left, and I took points. I was like, there's no way someone's getting points, and then right when that bet happens, Commanders fumble the ball, and I was just like, well, there goes my points. Jacksonville gets the ball, drives down the field, and it's like 20-yard line. I'm like, okay, field goal's happening. They kick a field goal and hit the freaking upright, and I kid you not, at that moment, I was like, I'm pissed at myself because I have to go buy food for both of us. But also, I was like, it was just like, I was like, of course.
100%.
But second half got worse. Second half got a little worrisome. Jacksonville came back really fast second half. Couple really bad picks by famous Carson Wentz, who's known for doing that. But as a like neutral fan, who I did want the Commanders to win, but as a neutral fan, I was like feeling the energy shift in the stadium because there was a fair bit of Jags fans. Oh yeah, and I was scared because like you, Brandon, Jack, like y'all were getting a little pissed. I was like, oh no, this is not good. It's not good. But some big time plays by the defense. And a huge throw by Carson Wentz for that long touchdown.
I mean, which was like to Terry? Or are you talking about
Terry? The Terry one. The Terry one was
you called it.
Throw.
He called it.
I did.
Gentlemen.
The play before I was like, you have to get Terry the ball right now, otherwise you're done. Deep balls at the Terry, and I was just like, money, cash it. It was a great game. Like, just fan of football. Their game was back and forth. No blowouts. Like each team made their mistakes, but each team countered it with other like very good game. I'm happy the Commanders won because it made everyone I was with happy. I don't have to worry about any harm at that point. But what about you? Since you were more of the Washington fan,
I was worried, and I think I'm still worried because Carson Wentz had those brain lapses, and he showed it again. That defense. We dealt with a lot of injuries. I think there's 2 to 3 injuries.
Yeah,
on the defense
the first quarter had one of your D linemen go down. I can't remember who, but he got carted off, and I was like,
right away.
Not a good start.
Yeah, but I think we'll figure it out. Chase Young will come back. We'll have that defense. They played very well. I think it was me and Brandon, other Brandon, were talking about the game of rookies. Like our wideout Sutton, or I forget what his name is, but then the corner. Or safety. I don't know who was who. I've never heard of him.
Whatever position, he had a massive game.
The wide receiver had 2 touchdowns. The safety had an interception or 2 interceptions. I forget exactly how many Trevor threw, but I mean, just outstanding. But Carson Wentz on that first interception, we were both looking and we were just like,
Oh
he's
my gosh,
staring at the guy.
it was so bad. Like from like the top of the stadium, not the top, but like from up top where we were at, I was like, this is a pick. I was like, this is the most obvious pick ever.
100%. And this was at
Second
the
pick
point I
wasn't
think
his
where we
fault
were
though.
betting. I think we were betting on it,
Yeah.
and we were just saying like, oh, $10 it goes to this guy on the left. I mean, we were able to like from the minute he snapped the ball, we were
It
able to
was
say it's going
easy.
there.
Yeah.
And the corner was able to do it, and it was just stupid. I disagree slightly on that screen interception that he had. He was under duress, and the guy made a great heads up play.
I have watched
But at
that
a certain point, get rid of it.
Yeah. I've watched that play 6 or 7 times because it was Trayvon Walker, first overall pick from Georgia.
Absolutely.
He made a hell of a play. Yes, get rid of it, but also in screen passes, you're going to be under duress. So there's a mix. It's like that's part of the screen is to be under duress because you want everyone to come at you, so you screen open field. The problem was the screen never made it outside of the box, in my opinion. Correct. It was between the tackles still. Like the screen, I don't know if that was designed. It's a poor design because the linebackers are all so close still. You want to have that baited out a bit. So he should never thrown it, but also I get why he threw it. Like it wasn't his fault as much, but also like Trayvon Walker's out of nowhere. Like he's hiding behind some O lineman, just high ball, thanks, bye.
But throw it at the feet. I think that is my thing. Just throw it at the feet, lives to see another down, and that was at a crucial point where
because that was right after they
just
lost the lead. Yeah, so I was like, oh, it's about to be blow up time, but
it's about to go the other way, and then somehow they came back.
Your defense came up big. Your defense came up huge. I'm not going to say the Commanders are going to have an amazing season yet because they still have a lot of problems, and the defense was, besides in the fourth, was questionable. Like they had their moments before the fourth, but at the same time, like Jacksonville still was able to move down the field. In the first quarter, ETN dropped a wide open touchdown. Second quarter, ETN dropped a wide open touchdown on fourth down. That's 14 points right there. Like the game could have been very different. So they were shaky. Jacksonville clearly shaky as well with these drop passes. I think both teams still have like probably around 500. I don't see the team having a horrendous season, but I need to see more from each team before I can determine things with them.
Yeah, I think Jacksonville around that 500 mark, but the Commanders, and as we talk about these other games, I think it's going to be real interesting.
Yeah,
to see what happened with the Cowboys, and then the Giants coming up, and then big against Tennessee.
Like the Commanders games could easily go down to the wire most games.
100%.
Like the way they were playing it. And that's why I like games that are close. I like it.
Let's talk about it actually. Let's get into it because as the game with the Commanders are happening, I'm going to skip around on our timeline and just get to the main thing. As that was happening, you like close games, right? So I feel like it's fair. The New Orleans against Atlanta, I didn't get to see the game. Can you tell me a little about it? Or
so first 3 quarters, great. Falcons forget we play a fourth quarter every single time though. So fourth quarter comes about and we blow another lead. Great. We had a chance.
Was it 23-10?
No, 26.
26.
Yeah. The Falcons are, I want to say, 7-5 and 15-point leads in the fourth quarter in the past like 5 years. It's not a great stat line, but I saw it somewhere. I was like, of course. They have like a 60% win rate when the rest of the league has a 98% win rate when it comes to that. So we're doing great. But yeah, no. So it is what it is. I'm honestly not upset. I didn't expect us to win that game. The fact that we even had a shot was great. If we had kicked that game-winning field goal, I would have been ecstatic, but it is what it is, The Saints clearly either aren't as good as everyone thought they were going to be, or the Falcons are just a bit better. But we just have to learn to close games out. That's all I got to say, honestly, because it's just simple facts. You let them come back in the fourth quarter. So,
and I think for the Saints, Michael Thomas coming back, that was a huge perk. and he came up big, 22 points on fantasy. At the end of this, we are going to talk about our individual fantasy draft. We didn't post it, but we want to tell you a little bit of our teams, kind of how we did. Maybe we could just end the pod with some sort of fantasy updates on how we're doing in the league.
Can we kick Nick Saliba out of the league yet? It's been 1
Not
week.
yet.
I want to kick him out. Okay.
you gotta fill them in. For the Saints, huge. And I think Jameis Winston coming back from that injury, they're only going to get better. For Atlanta,
you can only go up. You can only go up. Don't even try to. You can only go up.
For Atlanta, they had a lot of good things happen. Scratch the fourth. But their team is young and they're in a rebuild year. And the fact that you're competing against the Saints that could win division, good signs. So Marcus Mariota first came back since 1826, right? Oldest
good until the fourth, and then had 2 fumbles in the fourth.
I mean, get what you get. But your wideout that you just drafted played pretty well.
Yeah,
Kyle Pitts played pretty well.
Yeah.
Cordero Patterson
Patterson had a great game.
So we'll your offense is there. Your pieces are there.
We're playing the Rams next week, so it should be fun.
Sorry.
Let's go on over to your team, the Lions. What happened there?
So I actually just got a phone call. I got to go real quick, but I'm proud of them. Let me tell you, I'm freaking proud of them. The Eagles, definitely best roster. One of the best rosters in the league. One of the best rosters. That's hands down. On offense, that team is legit. From their offensive line to their running backs. Or is it just
that your defense is so bad?
Okay. I don't think that. I only saw the highlights. Our offense, I'm not going to lie, we're not terrible. And that shocks me.
But also the Eagles' defense is bad.
Yeah. No, well, they're not terrible either, right?
No.
People are saying they can win a lot of games. Yeah. They can't have the worst, right?
Let's look at just the scoreboard. Let's look at scoreboard of the whole game. You guys go up 7-0. Looks great. And then the second quarter comes and Eagles scored 24 points and y'all scored 7.
I said they have a great team. They have a great team.
Third
so
quarter,
at that point, it's 24-14.
Yeah. Then they scored 14 and you scored 7. At that point, it's a little rough. It's 38-21. The fourth quarter, you scored 2 more touchdowns to make it a game. But
wait. You're telling me in the fourth quarter with the team with one of the best records in the NFL or best rosters in the NFL, we shut them out and we scored 2 touchdowns?
And you took an L.
I'm supposed to be upset.
You were so far behind. And you were so far behind because of the second and third quarter.
At least I wasn't so far ahead than I choked. I would rather be clawing my way back. They don't fight. They don't stop fighting. Your guys literally stop fighting.
No, we didn't stop. We just
do you see the difference?
No, we just forgot how to tackle. There's a difference. Do we play each other this year? Because I can't wait for that. But no, Lions.
I think
they had their moments.
Preseason, I think though.
Yeah, only preseason. Lions had their moments. They're definitely shaky. Eagles. I didn't really watch too much highlights of it. I just saw the scoreboard continuously going up, and then it was just a shootout. From every time I looked, there's another. So
at the stadium, they would show it on the jumbotron, and we'll look, and we're like, "That's already a 60-point game in total." Yeah. I was like, "Geez, Louise!"
God. But
I mean, I'm excited to see it. This NFC East is going to be good. Oh, wow,
I'm worried for both the Lions and the Eagles because if their defenses are letting up that many points like that so rapidly in a quarter, also the Eagles get 14 in the fourth, you get 24 in the second. That's a lot of points in quarters going up. So it's your offense might be scoring, but it's going to come to the point of defense has to get stops. Otherwise, you guys are going to be losing blowouts left and right, or not blowouts, but shootouts left and right.
But it is week 1.
It is. But let's talk about a week 1 team that how should I put this kindly? Doesn't know how to score touchdowns because there's only one team that didn't score a touchdown in the entire NFL. And you've mentioned them already, and I just want to. We're skipping all over, but I just want to talk about them because it makes me happy, even though the team they beat them, I wanted to lose. But it makes me happy that the Dallas Cowboys were the only team that couldn't score a touchdown. The Lions scored. The Falcons scored a touchdown. Everyone scored a touchdown, but the Cowboys.
In the game where they literally played in a pool in Chicago, they scored multiple touchdowns.
The Texans scored touchdowns. The Jets scored touchdowns.
Except for
everyone. Yeah.
The Dallas Cowboys. Give it to me. What's your thoughts? Because I know you didn't want them to win, but you also didn't want them to win.
Tampa Bay didn't look great.
Yeah.
They did what they had to do to win. Their defense looked good. The offense, I feel like, yes, Dallas has some defensive weapons and stuff, but I honestly thought the way that the Cowboys or the Bucs defense was playing, they were going to rack up a lot more points just because they were stopping.
Right.
Dak's hurt, so he's out for a month at least. That sucks. Ezekiel Elliott, is he still even a running back at this point? Like, why? Why?
He does what we do. We just run his mouth and then get paid for it. Yeah.
Gotcha. Wow. Oh, so he's not like he gets paid.
Damn it.
Yeah, but I don't know. Dallas is a mess. I think they are just a mess. I'm gonna go ahead and throw this one out there off week 1. Dallas doesn't make playoffs. I don't think it gets any better for them.
But that's even with what Jerry said. Yes, this is why I like honestly moving the pod to Tuesday, because already Jerry Jones said within 4 games. Originally it was 6 to 8 weeks. Within 4 games, he's not placing on IR. He thinks he has a chance to come back in 4.
Yeah, so they're gonna have a backup for 4 games, and he hopes to go 500. It's possible, but if
do you know the schedule?
Or I have to relook at it.
Here it is: Cincinnati, the Eagles, the Rams, and the Commanders.
Possible dub.
So 1 and 3.
1 and 3 if they're
if they're lucky.
Yeah, I don't see them making playoffs at this point, unless they have to have an insane second half. I honestly am already anticipating first half, chalk it up for them. Second half, they have to go popping off.
100%. But even before the injury, Dak didn't look great. None of these teams look great, but my concern is I agree with you. They're not going to make it, but I think they're going to force him to come back, and he's going to hurt that hand even more.
That's another concern. Yeah,
that's my problem. And Jerry Jones saying it, he took their season that was just without a pulse and gave it a little heartbeat that was just faint enough for people to start believing, but it's not believable. I just don't think that's safe for him or that, but it makes the division so much more interesting. And I don't know if you have more to say. I agree with you, Tom Brady.
Not much, honestly.
But that was a damn good
talking about Dallas,
Mike Evans.
Tampa Bay. Talking about Tampa Bay and Dallas hurts me, so I'm happy to move on. I don't really like either team.
To wrap up that whole NFC East, when you have the Cowboys that lost and they could have won all, the Eagles that didn't look great and lost or beat the Lions, the Commanders that looked pretty decent but also not super great, and the Giants. Let's just go through the Giants game against Tennessee.
Let's go to that Giants game. What?
Can I ask you a question?
Please. Yeah, go for it.
Did you know that Derrick Henry could get hit and tackled and get swept off his feet?
Did you know also that Derrick Henry has a backup running back that they will put in the game when it's near the goal line and let him score over Derrick Henry?
I didn't know that. Not only did he
get either.
Did you see the hit? Did you see the hit on Derrick Henry when he flew?
Yeah.
No wonder I would have put my backup running back and say no. He was supposed to stay.
Did you also know that someone drafted Derrick Henry in the 2nd round and regrets it now? This guy.
But do you know someone drafted Saquon Barkley in one of my leagues and he dropped 33 points, and I was like,
yeah. But no, Titans didn't look great. Daniel Jones actually looked pretty good. From what I saw,
he looked like a quarterback that could start in the NFL. Yeah, for sure.
I definitely think that Tannehill is going to lose his job to Malik Willis for the Titans
sooner rather than later.
Yeah. I feel like both these teams are going to just be spoilers at this point. Saquon's back, but can he stay healthy? I need to see Saquon for a month straight of this before I'm going to say Saquon's back.
Yeah, but you could say that about the Panthers as well.
Yeah.
With McCaffrey.
Also, there's no way Derrick Henry does this every week. He's going to go ham on some team. I thought it would be the Giants, but a very close game. Was it Titans missed a game-winning field goal, right? Was that it? Or the Giants kicked the game-winning field goal?
The Giants went for 2
That's
and
right.
won it. They won it. I have to admit that the Tennessee looks much weaker after losing Julio Jones, after
AJ
losing
Brown.
AJ Brown, and you're just left with Derrick Henry. You're not going to be. They're not going to be competing in these games like they thought they would have been. But
AJ Brown
Giants
also looked very good for the Eagles.
He did. He did. And Devontae Smith. The Eagles look scared. They're one of the best young lineups in the league, and I think with time they could be really good. But the Giants, new hope with their new head coach Mike Dabble, something.
Yeah, I can't remember. If Saquon actually stays healthy, the Giants could it would be a surprise team, I think.
A surprise team to not make it to the playoffs, but mess up the teams that are going to the playoffs.
I could see them sneaking a wild card spot if Saquon stays healthy all year long. If Saquon plays every game, there's a chance. But they have to have Saquon play every game.
But these NFC teams, right, are just so.
That's what I'm saying. The NFC is so
They're so much closer together in terms of talent, and I think both they're very equal in talent. But like, there's tiers, like the AFC and then the NFC.
Yeah.
So it makes it interesting.
NFC is super light. Because let's just talk about another NFC game. Justin Jefferson. We'll just put this: Justin Jefferson versus the Packers. We don't have to say the whole team because Justin Jefferson, even though he didn't give me enough points to win my fantasy game, boy popped off. First half, he said, "This is it, game over."
Did you see that right against Jair Alexander that Justin Jefferson did? He said, "I'll be right back."
Aaron Rodgers might cut his entire team. Like, Aaron Rodgers is still right now yelling at them. Wide open passes dropped for touchdowns.
I don't think I've ever seen it actually happen in an NFL game where you just go like this and the ball falls in your hand.
Yeah. And then you open your hand for some reason. Yeah. So let's just say it is. Vikings looked really good.
The Vikings looked really good.
Packers looked really bad.
I think this Vikings team is gonna show its true colors eventually. Like, Kirk Cousins will be Kirk Cousins at some point.
Yeah. The thing is, Justin Jefferson, if he gets the ball in his hands, he can screw over your whole team.
Oh,
so
1000%.
it's really gonna be if Justin Jefferson doesn't have a big game, someone else has to step up. Same thing as the Rams. Cooper Kupp, if he doesn't have a big game, someone has to step up.
But I mean, Adam Thielen still in Minnesota. We're not even talking about him, but he was the number one before Jefferson ever came about. So Minnesota, I don't know. This Viking team is scary with Dalvin Cook coming out of that backfield. That defense. I mean, last year their offense was good, but their defense sucked. And then they had Kirk Cousins. So now their defense improved, but you still have Kirk Cousins. Like, something's got to give.
See. I like him so far, though. I liked what I saw.
Yeah. But the Packers.
I think Aaron Rodgers, he's Aaron Rodgers. He will find a way to win games. But will it be enough games would be the question.
I honestly, maybe this is a bold take. I think the Lions outrank the Packers at the end of the day.
Okay, you've been drinking. That's clear.
That
might be the hottest. That might be the hottest take you've ever said.
No, I don't.
So you haven't been drinking. Okay.
I haven't. First of all, okay, I know what I'm doing. You're telling me the Packers are going to get any better weapons than what they had. Where are they coming? Are they going to get an Odell? Are they going to get so Aaron Rodgers is going to be throwing the ball perfectly. But that defense that we all said was supposed to be so well improved, where were they?
Well, they were watching.
You know what I mean? They were watching.
No, I do. I know what you mean. But like it's Aaron Rodgers. He has tied the league for most MVPs, right? Or is it one off?
Yeah, but I mean they're giving it to him, right?
Yes.
But like look at they're gonna face the
man. The man will get. Oh, listen, I would love the Packers to go 0-17. Honestly, I would love that. I would pay for that to happen. But Aaron, he's not like his receivers are gonna end up catching the ball. Otherwise, legit, they're gonna be cut and they're just gonna pick up other people. Like there's eventually gonna be a time where there's receivers catching. His top receiver was hurt and not playing, so like they're not gonna lose all their games.
His
It's
top
just
receiver is like a third string receiver on any other
yes, I
team.
know. Yes, oh, I know.
And now
But
he's
the
the
fact that
number
you just said
one.
the Lions are better. You saying
Dude,
by the end? You
listen to me.
think so? You're saying in the season, Tim
And in the
Bucks lines have
season,
a
they'll
better
have a better
record.
record.
Tim Bucks.
And I don't know why this is a surprise. I believe when we gave our predictions for our team, I said Minnesota first, Detroit second, the Packers third, and the Bears fourth. I believe I said that.
You might have.
So I'm
listen.
on brand. But after watching this first week game, I don't see where the Packers actually improve. The wide receivers are going to get more experience, but Aaron Rodgers coming out after the first game of the season, saying what he's been saying about we are beating ourselves. Like these guys just like forget how to catch a football. Like he's calling out these guys and then expecting them the next game to go play for them. He should have just left. I don't know.
Yeah, he should have left, but.
And let's get to the Bears. Let's just finish off this whole NFC North, right? The Bears
huge upset. Huge upset. I'd say
in the circumstances. California has had a drought for how long? And they played in a pool, right? So they don't know how to swim. Jimmy Garoppolo, I would have had. He would have won that game, I think.
No, he would not have.
I know I already lost that bet.
Because then you read. Yeah.
I know I lost that bet.
Trey Lance had his moments, but he looked shaky. The Bears, I mean, I can't really take much away from that game because of how bad the conditions were.
Right. It wasn't a legit game.
I'm sorry. Who was it that got a 15-yard penalty for unsportsmanlike conduct for bringing a towel out to dry the spot so he could kick the ball? Like, what type of BS
was the Bears.
is that? Was the Bears. What type of BS is that? You get tackled and you slide from the hash marks to the sideline. Like the field.
I hate wet socks. I don't know how they played. Oh my god!
I don't know why they didn't delay the game. Like something. Like the field was horrendous. Like I get playing in the rain, I do, but there was no drainage. That was the problem.
Did you see the lines on the field? It was like me and you did it. It was just.
Did you see them doing squeegee boarding it before the game, and like it literally was doing nothing? I was just like warm up, so it was like 3 feet every step. It was that field. But the Bears won a game. It's a rough game. Some team has to win. Congrats to the Bears.
Yeah, but I think, and based off of the games we watched, Minnesota looked great. Detroit didn't look so bad. The Packers looked pretty bad. But the Bears, we still don't know anything about. Am I wrong for assuming that they could still win? Maybe we need to see more, but I believe the Commanders will lose against the Lions next week. Because I believe Carson Wentz will go back to Carson Wentz. Sorry, Brandon. But not you, Brandon. Other Brandon.
Brandon.
You guys, this Brandon will probably be
I could care less.
On something.
No, we won't
I don't
know.
There's
no, we just, okay, that sounds weird. Calm down. Calm down with that. Wow, that went there. I don't approve of that. So moving on to the next game, let's stay in the NFC. Browns versus Panthers. Baker Mayfield talked all this trash. And they
what do you think?
Did not lose.
This was a game that you were following pretty heavily.
Yeah. It got close in the end, but the Browns kind of had control over the game the whole time, in my opinion. Congrats. They finally won the first game of the season. I expected them to win that game. I don't think they're very good, though. I still don't see them winning a crazy amount of games until maybe Deshaun Watson shows up. Panthers are just bad. That's all. Panthers are bad.
I agree.
DJ Moore's their receivers. He's never been good. He's gone through 5 quarterbacks at this point. Averages nothing.
Christian McCaffrey jumping over the whole line.
Yeah, I mean Christian McCaffrey is the guy. Like he's the whole guy. He's the receiver, the running back, the quarterback. He's the guy, and it's not enough. So how long Baker Mayfield keeps the job? That's going to be my real question.
No, I think he's going to keep the job.
I don't think he makes the whole season.
How long he stays there is different.
I don't think he stays as the starting quarterback all season long.
That is more bold than my Lions take.
I think they're both pretty bold. If someone's going to hear this and be like, you both are bold.
You both are bold. Okay. Let's leave that there. Maybe I can make some money off of it as I hear more.
Yeah, fair.
I don't know. Where do you want to go next?
I mean, we'll save Monday night for last. So
that
wherever
was
in
a
the
great
NFC
game.
you want to go. Wherever in the NFC you want to go.
NFC? Okay.
AFC, because that's all that's left.
Okay. Yeah.
Well, there's a NFC AFC game, but
Let's go. Let's just get the boring one out of the way. The Chiefs look good. They don't miss Tyreek Hill. 44 against 21 against the Cardinals.
Pause. No. Don't just try to skip over this one because I would like to talk to you real fast. And actually, we're gonna come back. Let's save that second for last because then we're gonna go Seahawks Broncos. So let's just go to the tie. Let's talk about a tie. I just laugh. Colts versus Texans. What happened? Like missed kick. And it is in a tie. Texans were winning all game. Matt Ryan brings it back at the end of the game and then just ends in a tie. Like, I don't know what to say at this point. I thought the Colts would just blow them out, but
Jonathan Taylor played great. Let me tell you.
Listen, my receiver from the Colts on my fantasy team played great too. But I laugh because it's just week one, already a tie in the NFL.
Shout out Greg for that defensive pick. I mean, you just crushed it with that pick first round, baby. Oh man, how did that work out for him?
Yeah. Well, you probably got more points than my Green Bay defense. So.
Okay, where do you want to go next?
Let's talk about a team that could have been in a tie now. Steelers versus Bengals. How did the Bengals make this a game? Joe Burrow had the worst game of his life.
5
Pick City
with a fumble.
Pick sixes, fumbles, everything. Steelers defense looked great, and then all of a sudden the Bengals were back. Bad. Well, I don't know if it's the defense. The offense. Think about it, the defense gave you the ball left, right, center. And you only put up 23 points. That's not on your defense. That is fully on your offense. You should have had that game 35-7 at the third quarter and just be done.
So I see your point about the offense letting the defense down because I think they did have a lot. The defense had to play a lot more, so they got tired.
Also,
faster.
Remember, one of those touchdowns for the Steelers is a defensive pick six.
Right.
So that's what I'm saying. Like the offense should have put up more points.
They should have, and I think maybe we both agree. When are we going to see Kenny Pickett?
Yeah.
When are we going to see him? Why is Mitchell Trubisky in there? Why is he there?
Listen, the Nickelodeon.
Najee Harris looked pretty good,
but he got hurt. Well, that's the thing. Najee Harris got hurt. TJ Watt got hurt, out for a while, and like 2 or 3 other people from the offense I think got hurt. So the Steelers lost a lot in that game.
I don't.
It's gonna be. I don't like
the Bengals
team
being fine because he had 5 picks and a fumble.
It's not. Yeah, he's not gonna
and
do
lost
that
by 3. But like even if he does, like he could keep you in the game. Like he doesn't get deterred. Yeah. Is I think the beautiful thing about him.
Really, the biggest thing that stands out is the fact that both kicker missed 2 field goals in overtime.
Yeah, good pick on the Evan McPherson, by the way, in the fantasy draft.
He did really good. He did really good. You're still gonna trade for him, don't lie. You're still gonna pick him up. You still want him.
I do. How is Young too?
I'm debating it. I might wait another week just so I can get more trade bait.
Okay.
But let's go on to talk about a game that I actually happy with the scoreline. Patriots lose to the Dolphins 20-7.
Thank God.
Patriots looked horrible, in my opinion.
Thank God.
Tyreek Hill does Tyreek Hill things. Jalen Waddle looked good.
I love that
Dolphins
celebration.
Good.
Yeah. I love that celebration. He's sick.
I really think the biggest takeaway from this game is that the Patriots looked really bad. Like, also the fact that Tua is 4-0 against Bill Belichick.
That is bad. That is very bad.
Yeah.
That doesn't make sense.
I might not trust him, but
He's
Can't
facing
lose to
Bill.
Bill. Yeah.
Come on now.
Yeah, but
The Dolphins,
I didn't really
I'm curious
watch.
to see how
Yeah.
they progress in the season. And
I think they're going to put up more points if they're going to keep winning. 20 is not going to be enough for them to keep winning games.
yeah, but Patriots slow the pace down a lot. So I'm curious when they face one of these faster teams, how they could keep up.
Yeah.
Where do you want to go now? Let's just get this. Can we get this one out of the way? Ravens, Jets.
Lamar's trying to show off that he deserves money as a free agent after the season.
He played amazing. He didn't get you
You're
enough
expected
points
to win
in
games.
fantasy. I don't know what you're supposed to say.
Honestly, highlight for the Jets. Sauce Gardner looked very good as a cornerback.
Yeah, he did.
So there's that for y'all at least. But Jets, expected with the Jets not having their Zach Wilson as their quarterback, kind of expected the game to go how it went.
But Joe Flacco gave throwing touchdown passes to the Ravens again, so that's cool to see.
Well, he just forgot what team he was on.
That was all.
Yeah. A game that this is why I like that we left these games left. So let's first talk about Chargers Raiders. What are your thoughts on that? Because Chargers won, which I thought they would, and the game was close, which I kind of figured it would be, but it was a big win for Herbert because he needed that win over a division opponent.
Yeah. I think the Chargers proved that they could do it. Because I feel like it's important to remember they haven't really done anything. Granted, last year it was their coach's fault. Bad play calling, bad everything. But they never made it to the playoffs with Justin Herbert. So they needed that one big time. But the Raiders offense, I would be perfectly fine. Like if I was to ever lose,
Devontae
I feel like I
Adams
won.
Looked good. Yeah.
Hunter Renfrow. Henry no.
That
aged poorly.
Say his name.
Who's the other guy? There's another guy.
Devontae Adams?
No. There's a third guy that they drafted 2 wide receivers that season.
I don't know the third one. But who you're about to say is not the name you should be saying.
Forget him. Darren Waller, Josh Jacobs, Derek
yeah.
Carr, best friends. I think this team is perfectly fine.
Yeah, I think they're fine too. It's just right now the Chargers are in the driving seat because of it.
I mean, Khalil Mack and Nick Bosa. Or Joey Bosa.
Yeah, Joe.
Holy crapola.
Moving on to the next game that has another team from that division. Chiefs versus Cardinals. I'm sorry, Patrick Mahomes is that guy. No matter what you say, he's that guy. They look damn good in my opinion, and they made it look easy.
Very easy. Can I ask you a question? So I saw this floating around on Fox Sports a lot. Is Patrick Mahomes the most disrespected quarterback in the league?
I would say he's up there. I would say he's up there for sure. Because right now you hear all this talk. I mean, like he gets to talk, but right now it's all like I feel like most of the talk I've heard this week is about either Herbert, Josh Allen, or like these younger rookies that kind of want like Patrick Mahomes. He just threw another 5 touchdown game. He has like I want to say he's tied for like third most now of those games, and he has like 200 games less played than everyone else on that list. I think some people just come complacent with it, with how good he is. Like they just expect him to do this every week. So there's disrespect, but also he is talked about. So I don't want to say most, but I feel like he's up there at times.
I agree. I feel like he is somewhat disrespected, but I think the it's not out of a place. Like I think it comes off as disrespect, but what we want to know is, can you do this for a sustained amount of time? I mean, he's getting there, right? Like he's been in the league for 4 years. He made the AFC Championship, the Kansas City Invitational, right? Like he's always there. He's always in the room. Yeah. I think this year will prove that you could do it without Tyreek and Travis Kelce. Yeah. That you could do it with anyone. Juju Smith.
I mean,
who's the other guy? Marquez Valdez Scanling. But like, you need someone, right? Like, it's okay to have one.
Yeah, I mean, it's going to be the same thing as Tom Brady. Tom Brady's going to throw you the ball and make you look better.
Like Travis Kelce might just be his Gronk.
Yeah, it is. But
and Tom Brady did have like Randy Moss at one point.
True. So before we go to Monday night, I want to talk about, since we just talked about 3 of the teams from this division, and we're going to talk about the last team. Before, a couple weeks ago, we went on a pod and we talked about this division specifically. And we had our top 4 teams in this division. Do you remember the order you put the teams? Do you remember the order you put the teams? Do you remember the order you put the teams?
I believe I put the Raiders, then the Chargers, then the Chiefs, and the Broncos.
Okay. You did. Do you remember my order now?
The Chiefs, the Chargers, the Raiders.
No. Chargers, Chiefs. Chargers, Chiefs.
Okay, Chargers, Chiefs.
Chargers, Chiefs. The way from it looks right now, I'm in much better shape than you are. And honestly, the Chargers might be able to flip. I know it's been 1 week. I know. But I just want to mention that you had such doubt in Kansas City. You had such doubt in Kansas City on multiple fronts.
I may be one of the people that caused the disrespect for Patrick Mahomes.
I just want to make sure you understand that before we move on to Monday night, because I want to make sure that you understand that.
Well, we were both right on the 4th place. We were both right.
Oh, 100%. 100%.
We're chilling.
But honestly, part of me is now wanting to put the Chiefs back to 1. But I think Chiefs Chargers are very 1A, 1B, and then there's space before Raiders.
Okay, let's just like take a second. It's the Cardinals. Their quarterback signed a deal where he's required to do his job.
Listen,
and you beat that team. That doesn't matter.
It doesn't. Stop disrespecting the Chiefs.
Without DeAndre Hopkins.
Stop disrespectful.
You know who I will disrespect? You know how I will disrespect? The freaking Ravens for facing the Jets and not being able to put up 44 points. That's why I disrespect.
You know what? That's fair. That's fair. I would have won fantasy football. All right, let's move on to the last game before we talk a little fantasy football. Steelers, Broncos. Seahawks. My bad.
Geno Smith?
I was reading a top line. Yeah, Geno Smith. What was the thing he said? They wrote me off. I didn't write back.
I love that.
Good for you, bud. Good for you, bud.
Hell yeah. That was your moment.
Forget about the game, though. I'm sorry. The Broncos head coach, you just had a worse clock management than the Falcons did in the Super Bowl. And that says a lot. And he's already now gone back today and said, I should have gone for it on 4th instead of kicking it.
But I blame Russell Wilson.
Yeah, you just got paid. You tell him, no, coach, I got this.
You call the timeout.
Yeah. Why are you? There's a minute left and you have timeout to wire.
Why'd you hit him with the hezzy?
Just destroyed them on that catch.
And Shannon Sharp.
My God.
Shannon Sharp was going crazy.
I loved it. I don't think the Seahawks are going to make a ton of noise. Congrats. It was a great upset, in my opinion. You ruined Russ's homecoming. But the Broncos are just, if they don't turn this around in a couple weeks, they're out of the division race already, because
they need to win the next game.
If the other 3 teams aren't playing each other, they're getting dubs pretty much.
Right.
So the Broncos could be finding themselves pushing for a wild card real fast.
The thing with the Broncos is more than just their play calling. It was, or their clock management. It was their play calling. Javonte Williams did not get the ball nearly enough. Russell Wilson held on to the ball too much. He
had a very nice pass to Jeremy Jeudy though for that one touchdown.
Jerry, whoa!
57.
You did not just say Jeremy.
I did, Jerry Jeudy. Listen, I'm still sleep deprived from this weekend.
But I think what the concern is Russell Wilson, 1, not taking ownership of the team, and 2, holding on to the ball too much. You're getting paid $200 and some million.
Yeah.
If I was getting paid $250 million, I would look at my head coach and be like, no, give me the freaking ball.
Yeah.
I think there's something wrong with him.
I think
just don't know what.
I think they'll turn it around next week and win, but I think they're in trouble if they keep having this happen in close games, because they show clock management is not their forte, and that's.
But even on their defense, they signed Randy Gregory, but they can't stop the run.
They only gave up 17 points though. They only gave up 17 points. So it's not like they let them score a bunch. I think this is more on the offense right now than defense.
Yeah.
But also,
I mean,
you let Seattle,
Seattle,
score 17.
they're the worst team in that division, right? Like, I think
Yeah.
it's fair to say. Um,
Yeah.
I'm excited for the whole AFC West. I mean, we talked about it. There's going to be a lot of divisions. May not be the glory division, like the AFC West, where it's like all of them can make it, but like the NFC East, that's going to be good just because we don't know.
Someone has to win a division.
The NFC North is going to be crazy because we don't know. Like the NFC West, it could just be like insane. We don't know if the Rams are going to make it or the 49ers. So
yeah,
this is exciting. I'm super freaking pumped for this season.
I know, dude.
This Thursday night, I believe it's the Chargers Chiefs.
This right here is going to, you know what? Let's place a little bet on this one, if you feel comfortable.
Okay.
Because I feel like you want Chargers.
Who do you want the Chargers?
No, I want the
You
Chiefs.
should want. Oh, you're
No.
flipping them. You're flipping them.
No. I think the Chargers are a better team, but Patrick Mahomes is my guy still.
Okay.
And you know what? I will flip it. Chiefs are best in that division. Chiefs win Monday or Thursday.
Okay, I will do that. The Chargers win Thursday. Now, what are we putting on it?
Do we want to put a score line or no? Do we want to go for score line or just whoever wins?
Whoever wins.
What's the cover right now? Can you look that up?
Yeah, I can.
Because that can make it more spicy. Because I think that we should probably follow whatever
it's a 4.5
the line
spread.
is.
So 4.5. Kansas City's minus 4.5.
So they're 4.5 point favorite. I like that. Do you want to go? Do you want to go with the spread, or do you just want to go whoever wins? Do you think the Chargers can cover? That's the question. Don't hurt yourself thinking now.
Dude, I don't know. If the Chiefs scores, they're scoring the touchdown. The Chargers may score a touchdown, but their defense is better. So maybe they just didn't have to use. Let's just go the line. Let's go the line. Forget about it. 4.5.
So Kansas City.
Chargers cover.
So Kansas City's done. How much you want to put on it?
A Chipotle.
Okay.
Chipotle. That's it.
I'm going to pick a Moe's over Chipotle, but
you could take Moe's.
Yeah.
I'll take Moe's. I have a Moe's.
Okay.
But you're going to have to get me 2 stacks.
Oh, buddy, you're getting me 2 burritos.
Oh. Okay. On Friday, we'll have dinner for us. Ooh. Friday's going to be dinner day for me. I'm going to eat. I'm going to starve myself until Thursday.
Buddy, it's not hitting the upright again. I'm sorry. You got lucky once. It's not happening again.
You're lucky I went easy on you. I got a pretzel. That you're lucky.
That's because the line you went. That's because the other one, that line you went to, Brandon looked at you and it was like, buddy, this line is going around the whole stadium. You went, fine, I'll take a pretzel.
But that chicken was damn good, and those fries were
chicken was good.
Ridiculous.
Was good.
Let's talk about our fantasy teams real quick.
Let's talk about it a little bit. I might have lost, but I put up points, and it triggers me.
Let's just give a quick update of who we have, real quick.
Okay, you first. You go ahead first.
Okay, I have Joe Burrow, Aaron Jones, Javonte Williams, Devontae Parker, Deebo Samuel, Travis Kelce, Josh Jacobs, the Rams defense, Matt Gay, Michael Thomas on my bench, Allen Robinson on my bench, J.K. Dobbins on my bench, Tony Pollard, Robert Tonyan, Chase Claypool, and Deshaun Watson. Give me what you got.
All right. So my bench is actually changing as we speak, so I'm not going to list all of them because I already have some waiver wires in the works because one of my bench is on IR already, so that's not happening.
Who was it?
Mitchell from San Francisco.
Jesus.
The running back. So I got Lamar Jackson, King Henry, or for now Prince Henry, Singletary, Justin Jefferson, boys gonna lock me down points. Mike Evans, Kyle Pitts needs to learn how to catch the ball in the end zone. Michael Pittman Jr. for my flex right now. Defense, Green Bay, but I'm working on a different defense because they are trash. I don't know why I picked them. I was stupid. McPherson is my kicker until I trade him to you. I got Jalen Waddle on my bench. I got Marquise Brown on my bench. I got Trey Lance as my backup quarterback. I purely did that to take him from you. I had Dawson Knox. And then my other ones right now are in the works. Right now it's Rashad Penny and Chase Edmonds. But like I said, I got some things in the works because I won't lie. I like a good waiver wire. I like it. I got some stuff in the works. So you're 1-0. I'm 0-1. I went against the guy who scored the most points in week 1.
And I'm going against him right now. I'm going against him this week.
And I'm going against the guy that you beat. It should be interesting. We'll keep you posted. So right now, with Deeds up 1-0, I'm down at 0-1. But
I dropped 137. How many did you drop?
132. So you beat me by about 5, which is solid.
But this guy had Josh Allen and Stephon Diggs.
He had Josh Allen, Jamar Chase, Stephon Diggs, AJ Brown. So yeah, right there. He got some stacked wide receivers. Let's do a little. It's an 8-man league for anyone who's wondering. And right now we'll each week. We'll see how the final prediction standings go each week, and we'll see what happens. Right now, the guy who beat me, his name is Joshua, or his team's name is Joshua Allen. He's predicted to finish first. DCB, who you beat, right?
Yeah.
He's predicted to finish second now. Even with my loss, I'm predicted to finish third. You're predicted to finish fourth. Then your cousin is predicted fifth. I can't remember whose account is the account because they just decided to be weird and ghost me.
Oh, that's Alethea.
That's right. My bad. Is predicted sixth, and then my boy Peter, shout out Peter, is predicted 7, and Greg with his first overall pick of the Colts defense. Everyone roast him is predicted to finish last.
Of course. I mean, how many points are you supposed to drop this week?
This week. Projected 127 right now, but that's before I switch out my defenses and stuff. So it's probably gonna be about 130-ish for me.
Okay, I'm at 131 right now, and I like my matchups a lot. The Rams defense against Atlanta, I'll take that any day of the week. Cincinnati against the Cowboys, I love that. The Green Bay Packers against the Bears, if you ever want a game for Aaron Rodgers to come back hot, that's the one. You got Denver against Houston, Devontae Adams against Arizona, Kansas City against the Chargers. I love this. San Francisco against Seattle. I mean, a lot of good teams out here. This week of matchup games are also there. Like
my biggest worry is honestly the fact that who I'm facing is Russell Wilson going against Houston. He's going to want to come back hot. That's my biggest worry. It's not my team, it's who I'm going against. But if Najee Harris doesn't play, that he loses a running back there. So, and also if he has Mark Andrews as his tight end, if he gets points, it means I get points for my QB. So that's his big money bread right there. But we'll keep y'all posted on that. Next week we'll probably talk mainly football again, but maybe we'll start a little playoff baseball coming up since it's going to be near October, seeing how the pennant races are shaping up.
Totally.
Because some teams will clinch, some teams will be still hunting at that point.
We will be having some longer pods, longer pods to accommodate these things, such as like NFL, our fantasy, the other sports, but
still going to try to keep it around hour-ish though.
Hour 10,
hour 15, yeah,
max.
Don't run too long, but want to get you guys as much info.
Longer than the 40 minutes that you've been getting.
Yeah. If you want a specific sport, let us know so we can update that each week as well. Yeah,
totally. But for this week, that's all she wrote. We'll see you. Like and subscribe, and we'll catch you guys next week. Peace.